Okay, we look at Newcastle United at home to Wolves. It's a 3 PM kick-off on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. Talk about Newcastle to begin with. Now, it's been a great season for them. We've said that many times over the last few weeks, but it's a bit of a reality check at Spurs, wasn't it? I mean, Spurs were too good, 5-0 to the home side, and Newcastle have actually lost 3 of their last 5 in all competitions. So they are still losing the odd games, but they're overall fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, early in the season when they went on their brilliant run to start with, they lost a couple of games in a row. Everyone said, okay, this is a reality check, this is where it's coming, they're going to slowly filter down the league. But they went on a decent run again, and now they're back amongst it again. Now, it was, against Spurs, they were fanned out a little bit. I think, basically, they were exposed in the first 20 minutes, and from then they were chasing the game, and that's why it's 5-0. If they were sort of a bit more compact at the top, maybe it would have been 2-0, we would be talking about this. But, yeah, they were exposed. There was a lot made about the 2 up top, which should have affected Spurs, but didn't really. But they'll go into the game confident. They'll be, as you said, across the whole season, they've been really, really good.
And at home recently, I think they've won their last 4 in all competitions, so they are very comfortable in front of their home fans at the moment, and you would back them this weekend.
And they've got Johan Kabay coming in back in as well, who's really important in midfield, and Chetiote as well.
Okay, and then they've also got Sunderland at home after this, which is obviously a big local derby against an informed Sunderland, then Arsenal away, which in terms of the battle for the top 4 or 5, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah. So it's a big 2 weeks for Newcastle.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you look at the upcoming fixtures for all the teams above them, like Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, it's a really big time for them. Everyone's playing each other, so if they want to pounce, if they want Champions League, which we all know is a big long
still in touch, though, aren't they?
They're still in touch, yeah, and they could, if they take advantage of these upcoming fixtures this week against Sunderland, then they're right there. Okay,
and Wolves, lots to talk about for them. Where to start, really. Obviously got hammered at home to West Brom, 5-1, the most recent game, and that was kind of the nail in the coffin for Mick McCarthy, really. He was sacked quite soon afterwards. First of all, do you think that was a fair enough decision? They had just won at QPR the week before that, which was...
Yeah.
But and if they'd lost 2-1, would he have been sacked? Is it just because they was 5-1 at home to
that is
the rivals?
At home, 5-1 defeat to your rival, it's a real big blow to come back from. I mean,
when you're in the relegation zone as well.
And also, the last couple of weeks, you've seen fans booing and booing it before, so, I mean, it's been building up, but you couldn't say it's a surprise. Did he deserve it? Probably. I mean, they've obviously been down there the last couple of seasons, but I mean, ask yourself this question: is there a man out there better to do the job?
I was just about to say that, because we're looking at the 3 favourites. Obviously, it could come from further afield, but it's Brian McDermott, who's done a very good job at Reading, but Premier League-wise, no experience, and is he the kind of manager to get them out, or is he more of a long-term thing? Steve Bruce didn't exactly set the world light at Sunderland, but he's an experienced manager. And then Lee Clark, who again has done very well, but only at League One level. Is he kind of big enough and experienced enough to get a team out of relegation battle? So, do you think it's going to be one of those 3? And if so, who would you go for?
Well, the thing is, we're in a relegation battle. It's all about confidence. It's all about having someone to guide and steer the ship to safety. I'm not sure 2 of those managers, i.e. McDermott and Clark, are the right men. I think Bruce, in his first season, I think they finished 6th under him. Obviously, this season was terrible for them, but I think he's got the Premier League experience. I think he could maybe inspire some confidence in them, and maybe whereas the other 2 obviously aren't a big name, they can't just come there and change around. But I'd go for Bruce, but I mean, it's not ideal. I can't see him doing a better job than McCarthy personally.
Exactly, yeah. So you wonder whether the sacking was the right thing, but they kind of needed to do something, they thought, because they were down there.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, for the last couple of seasons they've been down. I mean, the first season back in the Premier League, as we said before, they finished sort of between 10th and 12th or something like that. But ever since then they've been scrapping against relegation. So maybe it was just time for a change, but maybe the timing of it wasn't great. Okay,
we'll go for prediction. Newcastle at home to Wolves. I just think Newcastle will drop points there. I think Wolves will get kind of a shock 1-1 draw. Managerless team, always tends to maybe get a shock result, and I think they will get one in this one. So yeah, 1-1 for me in this one.
Yeah, it's a close one. I mean, I will say that Wolves chairman said he wants to get a manager in before the Newcastle game. Whether that happens or not is where I'm sure.
It's going to get fine now.
You cut it very fine, but yeah, I think Newcastle got some decent players to turn, so I'll go for a Newcastle 2-1 win.